the Minister of Economy, Digitalisation, Entrepreneurship and Tourism of the Government of Romania, Irineu Darău.
Thank you. Hello to everybody. Congratulations and thanks to the economists that you are organizing such an important event where I think a lot of brains and a lot of energy gather together to change valuable ideas. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests and partners from across Europe, thank you again for convening this vital dialogue. When we discuss the technological transition today, we must look far beyond cables, servers and code. We are in fact discussing the economic survival, the industrial sovereignty and the fundamental redesign of how our nations interact with their citizens and allies. In Southeast Europe, we are racing to adopt the technologies of tomorrow while simultaneously fighting the bureaucratic legacies of yesterday. We face the urgent societal challenge of upskilling our workforce and the economic pressure of keeping our small and medium enterprises competitive in an era of rapid automation. Yet, I firmly believe these challenges present an unprecedented leapfrog opportunity for our region. If there is one lesson Romania can offer from our recent strategic acceleration, it is this: technology can no longer be treated as an isolated sector. Our vision is to treat the technological transition as a unified ecosystem where digital innovation, green energy, industrial policy and defense are deeply intertwined. To achieve this, we are acting on three core fronts. Firstly, the state must stop funding the past and start mandating the future. We can no longer afford to inject public capital into the market without demanding innovation in return. For instance, through our upcoming SME Ecotech program, a major 288 million RON funding instrument developed with the vital support of Swiss funds, we have instituted a strict paradigm shift. At least 40% of every funded project must be directly invested in green or digital technologies. We are making state support conditional on the future readiness of our economy. Second, we cannot demand that our private sector digitize while the government remains analog. We are working every day to tear down the traditional view of the state as a bureaucratic hurdle and rebuilding it as an agile partner. We are laying the groundwork for the European Digital Identity Wallet, which will fundamentally streamline how citizens and businesses interact with authorities. And most importantly, it will open up the digitalized public services to the public and to the private sector. To directly serve our business community, we are working to deploy AI-driven virtual assistants to provide entrepreneurs with instant, round-the-clock guidance, cutting through the red tape that has historically slowed them down. Finally, we must recognize that technology is the ultimate currency of international cooperation and geopolitical security. In today's climate, digital resilience and sovereign industry are inseparable. Romania is stepping up to become a strategic anchor for the European Union. By reactivating critical raw materials projects, we are taking decisive steps to secure the European supply chains of the future. The technological transformation is the defining test of our generation's leadership, and if we secure our strategic supply chains, embrace innovation responsibly, and move forward as a united regional bloc, Southeast Europe will not just adapt to the future economy, but we will design it. And the final consideration, it's a bit related to other panels also, and especially to the last one. I also think we need a more holistic approach, because I think one of the most challenges, the biggest challenges now is exactly related to human capital. So we are speaking a lot about technology, about digitalization, about artificial intelligence, but I think we need a workforce, but also a population which is ready to adapt to all these new technologies. And it's very deep. It goes cultural, it goes to the education, it goes to continuous education towards during the life, to basic digital competencies, but also autonomy to learn during the lifetime and through all these challenges. Also, it's related to critical thinking. And so I think it will be even harder and maybe a bit slower to adapt the human capital to this technological revolution than to adapt the technology or the, I don't know, institutions, the bureaucracies. So what I would also say is that we need to find in Europe and in Romania a way to, and I heard it in the opening speeches of Monday, a way to become fast, attractive for experts and for capital from outside Europe. And I think our ambition through these times should be that high. So we shouldn't just speak about a slow transition and adapting to the new technologies. We should really ask ourselves during these times why the capital and sometimes the human resources also rather go to other parts of the world. And I think when we ask this question, when we try to answer it, we will think of methods which are fundamentally different from what we have done until now. If not, the risk is that our roots are too deep into the status quo, and given the rhythm of all the others, the gap will widen, even if we are struggling to to recover it. Thank you.